Here.
Here.
Any conflict of interest statements?
No, ma'am.
Approval of the minutes of the meeting of July 18th, 2024.
I recommend approval.
I concur. Are there any bid openings? I see none. Number 6, matters from other department heads and their representatives. Moving right along. Number 7, correspondence A. Correspondence received from Dean Button requesting the approval of the request from Safety Services and Supply to close 165th Street between Summer Street and Indianapolis Boulevard on July 29th and 30th, 2024 for 12 hours each day to repave the crossing and maintain the crossing submitted for approval.
Yes, we reviewed this. We think it's a good idea to make a smooth transition with the railroad tracks. And also, 12 hours each day, it's going to be better. There was a detour attached that Dean reviewed, and he gave the okay. So I
Okay.
would recommend approval.
I'll recommend approval.
I concur. Letter B, correspondence received from Ron Novak requesting the approval of the proposed license agreement renewal with American Smelting and Refining Company and its representative Rambo Americas Engineering Solutions, Inc., for access to the City Parkway located at 1200 and at the 1200 and 1300 blocks of Lakeview Avenue to perform work.
Good morning. This is a continuation of an ongoing problem with Federated Metals. They have required that groundwater sampling be performed downwind, if you want to call it, of the plant. And that means the 12 and 1300 blocks of Lakeview. Inside those parkways are groundwater monitoring wells to determine if there's any increase in contamination or decrease in contamination. And based upon this going on for over a decade, I recommend approval so that the public there in that particular neighborhood is protected.
I recommend approval.
And I concur.
Thank you, Mr. Novak.
Thank you.
Letter C, correspondence received from Brian Miller, Director of Public Safety, Purdue University Northwest, advising of their move-in day activities for incoming students on August 16th, 2024, and requests to have an outdoor music until 10 p.m.
I recommend approval.
I concur. Letter D, correspondence received from residents Anthony Burrish requesting permission to paint the curb in a blue and white flag design with address number.
I would probably recommend sending that to the law department and also our department. Back in the day, I can remember vaguely something about painting on the curbs in the ordinance. I don't know if there's an ordinance against it or they allow it, but I would have to review that.
Okay, I don't think we would want everybody painting their curb for a specific color, but
All right, I'll recommend we send this to engineering and law office.
I concur. Correspondence received from New Salem Missionary Baptist Church requesting for the street closure of the 800 block of Conkey on August 10th, 2024 from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. for their back-to-school celebration, and signatures are attached. Yep, see, there's signatures there.
I recommend approval.
And I concur. Correspondence received from William Short, Chief of Police, requesting the approval of the resignation of Antonio Tamores, effective the close of business on July 22nd, 2024.
I recommend approval of Chief Short's request.
And I concur. Number 8, matters from board members. Anything?
Nothing.
Neither do I. Number 9, new business, notice of violation hearing for 225 Ogden Street.
Mr. Castro.
Hello.
Good morning, Board.
Good morning.
Earlier this year was made aware to the Law Department and the Mayor's Office about a property that was for sale, that a realtor had saw the listing and questioned the legality of the property. So myself and Commissioner Farrell did an interior inspection of the property back on May 29th, and we discovered that this property at 225 Ogden had 2 basement apartments and 1 second-floor apartment that was neither permits pulled for it or any licensed contractors done. It was never approved. We also noticed that there was issues with the property needing electric work and everything. And so after doing my research for the permit history and everything, it was determined there was never permits pulled and that the units needed to be removed. Mailed the forms out in June to the property owner. My registered letter came back, but the regular mail didn't, so we're requesting that you approve the order, sign it, that's attached to the documents I gave to you.
Okay.
I recommend approval.
Okay. Motion to, I'm sorry, I concur.
Thank you.
Letter B, disposal authorizations received from the Hammond Police Department submitted for approval. That's a bunch of them.
Yeah. Wow. A lot of vehicles getting destroyed today.
Yep. Okay.
I recommend approval of the request.
And I concur. Letter C, right-of-way permits. There are 4 received from engineering submitted for approval.
So there are 4 permits, one being 907 Carroll. They're doing a driveway apron. It looks good. It went through the planning department. Another being the PNC new building on Holman. Used to be Franciscan. They're putting in a water main on Clinton Street. That's approved. They tried to go into Holman. There's too much. They revised their plan and going into Clinton Street. It was approved by water. One being Sapano Painting for City of Hammond, Goslin Street and Ann Street Avenue closure. That's for the tollway painting, approximately 3 weeks. He said it might take 2 weeks, but he just wants to. There's a detour attached. I looked at the detour, but it was fine. Then one more would be 3902 Calumet, which is a state highway. Water Department looked at this. We approved this back in December 14th, and they never got the work done, so they reapplied for the permit.
What are they doing there? You know?
Fiber,
Oh, fiber? Okay.
yeah. So basically, it was understanding that when they go on a state road, since we have our utilities in there, to make sure we're fine with it. But the state is ultimately
Yes.
grants the
Management.
permission, so
Okay.
I would recommend approval.
Okay. I recommend approval of all 4 requests.
Motion, goodness, I concur. Letter D, garage sale permit submitted for approval. Remember, don't take that for.
Yeah.
Except for that one.
I'm going to recommend approval of all of them except for 6703 Nevada.
Okay, this being their 4th
This being
request.
their 4th request, so.
Okay, I concur. Letter E, rehab agreement regarding property located at 1152 Michigan Street, submitted for approval. It has been signed. You have anything, Krista?
Did,
You were just
that's,
comment.
go ahead, Mr.
We'll just need a
Luter.
status date near the expiration date. It should be on the
Okay.
plan.
Okay, and the expiration date is November 2nd.
So we'll need October 31st, Halloween?
Sure,
You want to do October 31st?
Is that all right?
Okay.
that's fine.
Okay. All right.
Be here.
I'll recommend approval of this and set the status date for October 31st.
I concur.
Thank you, Mr. Luter.
Letter 10, old business, rehearing of late rental appeal for 844 Wilcox.
Good morning. I would just request that the board assign this property address a new date. The owner had claimed that he did not receive notice. Seeing that he's a new owner of the property, it's for the first time being registered. And after reviewing the documents he sent, I figured we'd give him a shot to show up to explain why he failed to register the property.
You want to do next week, Nick, or you need 2 weeks?
Yeah, let's do 2 weeks. I'll shoot him an email and give him a call that way. He can't claim he wasn't noticed this time around.
Okay.
August 8th?
Yep.
All
August
right.
8th?
August 8th. Yeah, we'll
All right.
set this to August 8th.
Okay,
I recommend approval.
I concur. 4919 Pine.
Good morning again.
Good
This
morning.
demo property has taken a long time. I met with one of the contractors who was brought in to do some work with simply countertops, backsplash, bathroom tile. It does not explain the rest of the work that was going on in the property. I reached out to the owner on June 25th after meeting with the contractor, reminded her about what the rehab agreement said, what her demo inspection report said, that all work needed to be done by licensed contractors. Several questions were asked. I've not received an answer. I would believe we need to have the board order her to come in front.
Are you from, okay.
You want to use the podium over there? You can.
Can you give us your name, ma'am?
Yomisha Mitchell,
Yomisha Mitchell, okay.
yes. So the same contractor that did the backsplash, he also did the front porch flooring. The other stuff that wasn't accounted for, I had got fined for it, so I paid that. And what I was gonna say. And the rest of the stuff, like, he told me to finish the waterproofing. I did that. Everything was done by contractors. If they outsource their work, I don't know nothing about that, but I know I hire contractors for that part.
There were 2 permits pulled. One was for the roof and to finish the windows, which would be wrapping the windows.
And
And
the
there was
window,
a second one pulled for, by Soto for the flooring, backsplash, and tile.
right.
I
So
did not receive a response from you on the email that I sent you on the 25th, asking the question of who checked all the wood, who hung all the drywall, who
Oh,
checked for
the
insulation.
roofing, the person who did the roofing contractor should have checked the drywall before I did. I think he said he only had to remove a couple of pieces of
He
wood.
pulled the permit for the roof, and he
Yes.
pulled the permit for
The roof.
the window wrap. There is no other permits pulled. I don't even know if there's electric permit pulled. I was just advised that we need a final plumbing inspection, but that's secondary compared to the rest of the house being complete, and there's no permit showing any work was done.
Well, electrical and permit,
That
electrical,
may be permitted. I'm not arguing that. I'm talking about the building portion.
the building
There's
portion,
no
like I
permits for
said,
any of the work completed.
Soto did most of the building, and then Serrano did the other building. So I don't know why they didn't pull permits.
Because they pulled permits for what they were hired to do.
Right.
Who completed the rest of the work inside?
I had got fined for that. It was only flooring that was done inside. The rest of the work was only flooring and wall. They fined me for that already. And then they told me that I could proceed with the work.
Is there any way you all can get
just-
together afterwards
Yeah, we could
To-
try and figure
to
this out.
discuss what happened?
Do you want a status date, Billy?
Yeah.
Or is
Yeah,
it, is
give us
it
30
still within the,
I'm not sure if the rehab agreement
I don't-
is
is it-
expired.
it's
And
not-
I don't have it on here.
yeah, we don't have the date for the rehab agreement.
Let's just set it for
Let's
status for
just
30
say
days.
this.
30 days?
Because we're at a point where we can do status, we shouldn't
Okay.
say anything.
September 6th, okay.
September
All right, we're going to
6th,
set this
okay?
for September 6th, guys.
That's fine.
Is that all right?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. I recommend setting this to status for September 6th.
6/2024. I concur. 1430 Stanton.
This is a similar situation. I've got no new permits, no progress since the last status date. I did send an email asking the owner to attend this morning, and I do not see him here. If we can send a letter notifying him of a new status date, so he can come and explain to the
Hold on
board
a
why
second.
there's been no.
Do you want to set this for September 6th
can
as
do that
well?
as
Is
well,
that good?
Okay.
All right.
All right. I recommend we set this for status for September 6th, 2024.
And if we can get
Just send
Law to send a
notification.
letter.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I concur.
Thank you, Mr. Luter.
Number 11, late rental registration hearings. You chatty today, Donnie.
Get to talk more. I'm so excited.
See.
Good morning.
Good
So
morning,
we
Nick.
have a 3-unit rental property here. We're here for 2024. It's the first time that they were late. I have had previous discussions with the owner, so it would be my recommendation for the board to waive the late fee for this property.
You said waive it, Nick?
Yes, please.
Okay.
All right. I recommend we waive the late fees for this address.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I concur. The meeting is now open to the public. Chris, do you have anything to share with
discuss?
us today? Donnie wants to talk today, so if you could direct everything to
get
him
excited.
and let him.
Come on, Chris. Anybody? No. Oh. Okay, never mind. All right, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris, for your fealty. We appreciate that. Okay. Go ahead.
I recommend to